Working 18-hour days, I slipped and I fell. Winter's up and hit me, I had to change well. There's no way to sustain it, you'll crash and burn. Will not be able to work and no way to earn. Change well, and then you can leave. Change well, and your kids you can feed. Turn your life around for the final bell. It's now or never, you have to change well. It's now or never, you must change well.
Hello and welcome to the next podcast for Change Well, a 15-minute podcast that tells you how you can change well, change your habits to wellness. So let's jump in. If you want to change well, one of the most important things you need is a why, a goal. We at Change Well believe you can't have wellness without a why. You know, each morning I wake up with a why in my heart and head. Maybe I wake up with too many of them because my wife always says, okay, you can't do everything. Stop with all this stuff. But it's important to have a singular why. What is a why? A why is the motivation for taking on something difficult and the purpose for doing so. A why drives you forward to your ambition. It keeps a song in your heart. Whys are imperative to change. They get you out of your rut. I did not always have a why nearby. For 7 years, I wandered aimlessly through every problem and everything without a why. But then I got a cause and a purpose. 150 pounds overweight, I established a why. There were two things that were related to this why. The first thing was my health. The second thing was, and more importantly, was I had a 30th reunion. Now, this was a West Point reunion. I finally decided I was going to go back. But I'm not going to go back as a guy that looks like an NFL lineman that after they retired, okay? And not all NFL linemen. I apologize for that if you're an NFL lineman. But bottom line is I was not going to go there. So my first why was get ready for the 30th reunion. So what are the things you need to do with your why? You can't just have a why and let it sit there. The first thing is you need to visualize your why. It is essential to have a visual representation of the outcome you want to get. A graphical representation helps you keep motivated when times get tough. And I had my graphical representation. It was topped off at the very top. It had our class motto was said, "For excellence we strive, 85." And then it had pictures of me young and at my current state with fellow classmates, and I was just to put motivation on. And it had pictures of my mom and dad who had the same health condition I had, and it was all in a visual representation that I kept on my phone. We will put a link next week on the specific app that I use, but you could use any app. And the best thing to do is take a poster board and visually represent where you want to go. So my motto was, "For excellence we strive, 85. And bottom line, I was trying to get ready for my 30th reunion. And I looked at that image every time I was struggling. When I was running through TSA and trying to convince the people that the CPAP machine was allowed as a third bag because it was a medical device, okay? It keeps you on target, and it helps you avoid going and getting another beer or something when you're traveling. The second thing is, once you get a why, don't stick with that why once you achieve it. You got to adapt your why, right? The excellence of today is the mediocrity of tomorrow. That's why our motto is for excellence we strive. Once you achieve your why, you got to put back on your work boots, roll up your sleeves, and strive for a new and better why. And over the years, I have changed my why repeatedly and made new vision boards. One of them was I wanted to honor one of my lost colleagues, and we established a 50-mile veterans walk to raise money for veteran organizations and the young Marines. The next thing is share your why. If you don't share your why, you could maybe achieve it. But it's always better once you have your why and you pass it on to your loved ones and your colleagues and your friends. That way, they see you going off kilter. They could say, hey, remember, you got that reunion coming. Don't eat that donut over there. Hey, I'm going to hide the M&Ms. Okay? So bottom line is, you need to share your why. And I made sure I did this on Facebook. Okay, I'm not a great lover of Facebook, but for things like this, and if you got a group that is like-minded as you, they will have positive feedback. And the last thing is wake up with your why. I end with the beginning. You could take concrete steps to wake up with your why each day, and I'm going to show you what I do. I do journaling. This is a life changer. This is just one of them. I have another journal too. I have at least 50 of these finished books that talk about what am I grateful today, what am I going to accomplish today, and what did I accomplish? And one of the key things on here, let me just read you one of the things. It says, look back on today. 2 amazing things that I'm proud of are, and you write down what you're proud of. And it doesn't have to be something great. The next thing is to visualize your favorite moment of the day and how did that align with your why. And the other thing is, who showed me kindness? That, again, plays into the thankfulness. So, and then a few other things is it has an I am statement. So one of the I am statements I wrote before doing this podcast, I'm going to read this out. I am a devoted coach who passes on the lessons to improve the lives of others. I hope I'm doing that. So these are a few tricks to keep your why nearby. Do not wander and wallow in the unknown without a why. Visualize your why and build a better future for yourselves and others. Change well.